find that this advice is not very helpful for those that have really tried to stay on a budget but have failed multiple times. If you're in a position that you need to receive good financial advice, or if you're the kind of person that gives financial advice to other people, I want to give you a quick rule of thumb, in that it's bad financial advice to just tell people to just spend less. But I think it's horrible advice to just throw that quick, simple advice around. Just spend less than you make. You know the story. When the topic of struggling finances comes up, and it often does because people talk about money all the time, when you're with friends or coworkers or family functions, it seems like sometimes in these conversations, someone will mention that they are struggling, or they know someone that spends too much, and that person is always stressed out about it. Invariably, someone will just say, they just need to spend less. Because I've been providing financial counsel for decades, this happens to me a lot, especially in casual conversations. People come up to me, usually the accountant type or somebody who's really good with money, and they'll bring this up and they'll shake their heads. It just doesn't make sense to them. They would say, why would anybody do that? Why would somebody spend as much as they make and not save money? They must be dumb, they tell me. I hate it when people tell you that. It seems like logical advice, doesn't it? You might be surprised that a financial coach would tell you that it's terrible advice. Even just a couple weeks ago, a friend asked me what I did for a living. As a financial life coach, I told him about some of the things that I do. Actually, I was golfing with the pastor of a local church, and we had a great conversation. I told him that I help successful people like entrepreneurs build wealth because a lot of them are great at making it, but also great at spending it. So of course, they're not great at building wealth. Another member of our foursome piped in and said, well, the solution's simple. Well, he just laughed. He said people just need to spend less than they make. Although that's true, it's still not helpful advice. Let me tell you another story. For 13 years, starting during the Great Recession that began in 2007 or 2008, I was hired by an institution to coach and lead classes for several thousands of its members. I learned that just giving advice or providing financial literacy only helped about 20% of the time. Was this because people didn't want to change? No. Everyone wanted healthier financial lives. Was it because we didn't provide great solutions? No, that's not it. We guided people using the best tools and the best practices and sometimes simple advice. Was it because our financial education classes didn't provide people with all the how-tos? No, it wasn't that either. We taught excellent classes. Why wasn't the effectiveness higher? Isn't knowledge supposed to equal power? So why don't simple solutions work for most human problems? If simple solutions were that easy, we could merely suggest to people that are trying to lose weight just to eat less or to work out more. Give that a try and see if you don't get a black eye. The same goes for other habits or behaviors such as smoking or drinking. Simple solutions are a great way to make money, such as selling diet books. Perhaps that is why we have a billion-dollar diet book industry. Maybe the solution is to go on a diet from simple solutions. Humans are complex and they require good problem-solving skill sets if they're going to solve a problem and come up with good solutions that last a long time. However, most people have not been taught good problem-solving skills. To do it, it requires strategic thinking and a really cool way of doing it. It's called root cause analysis. Do some research about root cause analysis and you'll probably conclude it can be traced back to two people, Albert Einstein and Sakichi Toyoda. Here's what Einstein said. If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions. You probably know this quote, but do you really know what it means? Mr. Toyoda used the root cause analysis to get to the root of why machines stopped interrupting the assembly line. When you interrupt the assembly line, it costs millions if it gets shut down. He didn't just jump to the solution. He spent a lot of time getting to the root cause of why this particular machine stopped the assembly line. And it wasn't the surface. They had to go 5 layers below before they got to the root cause. So knowing this, let me invent a new quote. Do not jump to a solution of a complex human problem, even though it seems very obvious to you, until you have thoroughly examined the problem or the person and you know it better than anyone. In other words, do not fix your problem. Don't fix me. Don't fix your spouse. Don't fix your company. Don't fix someone else's problem until you've fully researched and understood the problem. No matter how smart you think you are, suffice to say, most of the time, people have not done the work to evaluate the problem. Where did I learn this, you might ask? Another story. I was hired by a regional bank to be a product manager. Not project manager, but product manager. Most people are not familiar with this unique profession. It's highly skilled. It is actually one of the highest paid mid to upper level jobs in business right now. I did it for 2 years at a regional bank, and it kicked my butt. And I learned a lot. This profession has a highly refined process of problem solving that's used for product creation. It's used a lot in Silicon Valley to develop new products. They spend thousands of hours and millions of dollars studying a problem to be solved. Firms that skip this step in product development usually fail. Usually they design a new product, which is just a name for a simple solution based on what they perceive the problem to be, because they didn't do the research. I know we're going down a rabbit hole here, but we'll get back to answering the question I posed at the beginning. If solving the core symptom of poor money management is to spend less, then wouldn't someone have designed an easy solution like an app to solve this problem a long time ago? Guess what? We tried to do just that. We took a large hunk of our life savings and we created the first online financial planning app. We were the first ones to do it. Several others entered the marketplace and they didn't make it. They just folded. We lasted nearly 15 years and we were able to sell it. We learned a lot about human nature through this entrepreneurial adventure. Well, if you're an overspender or someone that helps others, this video is for you. If you're like many who can't seem to get ahead or build wealth, pay off debt, the solution isn't just to eat or spend less, but to understand you. One of the first steps is to first remove a barrier to change, and that is to frame your past appropriately. Because humans limit their future based upon how they interpret their past, which is a lot of times negative or defensively. So I recommend that you frame your past appropriately. The first way is to recall all the milestones and accomplishments in your life. This way you see the pattern of success throughout your life. If you're a normal person, you have many significant milestones, huge wins. You might not have thought of them that way before, but your milestones are great and you need to acknowledge them. Then after you've done that, frame your past failures in the financial world only to extract the lessons that you learned. Not negative thoughts or self-talk about you being a bad person or being dumb. That just needs to be done away with forever. You're not dumb. You're a very smart, intelligent, and capable person. It only means that you didn't find the right solution yet, but you eliminated a lot of things that don't work if you've tried. That is important. And you agree to tell yourself, again, that you're smart, you're competent, you're capable of change and progress. The second thing I want you to do is to frame your future. Capture a vision of what you want in the future for your finances, for your career, for your faith, for your lifestyle, for your freedom and your peace. The next step is to identify your mindsets, some of which might actually be flawed. This is the essence of root cause analysis for financial life coaching that I've created. Most financial bad habits can be traced to the mindset an individual has in their head. Most, not all, but some can be traced to things like trauma or really bad information. So why is this so powerful? Let me tell you 2 other stories from my coaching experience. Remember, I've coached thousands. One couple never had a budget and needed one to get out of debt. It was pure logic. This was something like 8 years ago. I worked my tail off to help this couple. Logic, persuasion, but nothing could be done to help them. They just couldn't stay on budget for whatever reason I couldn't figure out at the time. I mean, I'm really good at this, I thought. I've done coaching and planning. I was so frustrated why I wasn't more effective. Well, I learned. Flash forward to more recent times, I showed a successful company in my coaching practice my money diagrams. I've developed many. It really depends on the problem or the thing what we're discussing. They were able to look at my diagram and identify the imperfect mindset that they were currently following that produced the results they were not enjoying. They also identified on the same chart the mindsets and outcomes that they wanted. I use these tools I've developed and approach as we work through all sorts of financial issues and non-literacy things. As we move through coaching in this kind of root cause analysis, we have seen them make significant growth in a short period of time. If this sort of thing interests you, I've linked one of my diagrams in the description below. Feel free to examine it. There's a little test you can take in it, and then examine where you are now and examine where you want to be. This will begin to break through the ice, and it'll help you realize that just giving somebody advice to spend less is usually not good advice. Usually you have to unwrap things and address things that go much deeper. Click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos where we continue to explore these deeper aspects of personal finance. This is a thinking person's channel where we delve deeper so that we can have longer lasting results. Until next time, keep striving for wisdom in every aspect of your life. You will achieve greatness and you will have more happiness than you ever imagined possible. Thank you.